Hi, this is Amy at amycommonsensesouthern.com. Thanks for checking out my very first meal prep video. So go ahead and like and subscribe and do all the things, and we will go ahead and get started. So you saw in my grocery haul that I had purchased these Springer Mountain Farms boneless, skinless, individually wrapped chicken breast. So I just put these on a foil lined pan with a little bit of olive oil, put on some salt and pepper and a little bit of Italian seasoning. By the way, I did wash my hands before touching that pepper grinder. That's just video editing there, folks. So the chicken breasts themselves are 0 smart points. I guess for the little bit of oil I put on there, maybe we can count those as 1, but I don't go crazy over stuff like that. I put the chicken breast into a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes, flipping halfway through cooking. I'll show you those later. Next, I moved on to packaging up some Mission restaurant style thin and crispy chips. So I like to put these into little baggies. You could also put these into little containers that you can rewash. That's just what I choose to do. 12 of these chips is 4 smart points. And so, you know, when you get a bag of chips like that, they're not always whole. You sometimes have to guesstimate putting together a few chip fragments in order to get those 12 chips in the bag for the 4 smart points, but just do the best you can. Again, I don't go crazy with stuff like that. I put together 5 of those bags of chips, 1 for each day of the week. Another snack that I packaged up were these mixed nuts by Great Value in these little smart cups, also by Great Value. I don't really feel like those are being wasteful, considering that I can actually recycle those. They are totally recyclable, and you can also put more nuts in there. I mean, you could wash them out. I guess I feel like it's less wasteful to use these cups than it is to make multiple trips to the snack machine throughout the week, and these little cups are 5 points apiece. Another thing that I packaged to go in both mine and my husband's lunches are these red grapes. So again, I just use the little baggies. I wash my grapes, dry them off really well, and then I just cut them off into these little bunches and then just put a few bunches in each bag. So that's 0 smart points, and I really love as a snack a cup of those nuts eaten with a baggie of grapes. I just love that together. It's just something about red grapes and pecans and walnuts. I don't know about you, but that's just one of my favorite snacks. So I don't always just use the grapes with the nuts as a snack. I just consider that sometimes a fruit in my lunch, even if I'm not having the nuts. But like you see here, I just use a pair of scissors that I have dedicated to my kitchen, and they're always clean for use with my kitchen. That's all they're used for, things like what you see me doing right here. And so I just package up enough of these bags for mine and my husband's lunches. I thought a couple of days this week I might like to have smoothies for breakfast. And really, the whole point of meal prep, if you think about it, is to keep yourself from doing the same repetitive things each morning, each afternoon for lunch. So this is a perfect example of that. So instead of cutting bananas up 2 or 3 times or having to go to the freezer to get fruit out 2 or 3 times, I took 1 banana and used my packages of strawberries and raspberries that you saw in the haul. And so I put in these little washable containers, half a banana in each container, and then raspberries in one, strawberry in another. I still have plenty of frozen raspberries and strawberries to do other things with if I like. That's another thing I really like about the frozen fruit is I could have just put banana and strawberry or banana and raspberry or whatever combination of fruit I wanted in these containers and just stuck them in the fridge to have for snacks later. Anyway, these containers are going in my freezer, and they will be all ready for me to put in my Ninja smoothie making cup when I'm ready. I don't usually meal prep my dinner, but I do plan it, and so I want to marinate this pork tenderloin from a previous shopping trip in sesame oil, soy sauce, the juice of 1 lime, and a little bit of maple syrup, and that's pure maple syrup, not pancake syrup. So I'm going to juice this lime first in a bowl. I'm going to mix everything for the marinade in a bowl, and then I'm going to put it inside a plastic bag with the pork tenderloin. Now, as far as the points go for this, you're going to have some points not in the lime juice, but in that sesame oil, maybe that soy sauce, and definitely in the maple syrup. But let's keep in mind that we're not going to be eating all of that. Most of that marinade is going to stay in the bag. I'm also going to put in just a little bit of that chopped garlic that I got in my haul. So I'm going to add 1 point to my pork for that marinade, since most of that marinade is going to stay in the bag and not go in my belly. You won't get to see me most likely cook this because I plan to let this marinate until Tuesday when I have it for dinner. but it's not really going to be much to see. All that will happen is that I will be putting that on a foil-lined pan and cooking it at a 400-degree oven for about 30 minutes or until it is done. So that is going to be delicious. I've made this before, and the pork itself is really 2 points for every 3 ounces. Now the chicken has come out of the oven. I have let that cool a little bit, and all the plan here is that I'm just going to be slicing this up and putting it into a container to keep on hand if I want to make salads for lunch this week. I do have 3 wraps that I'm going to make, which you'll see in a minute, but this chicken can go on a salad or anything that I decide to do. If for some reason I want to make another wrap, I can certainly put chicken in a wrap. So it is just really a great option to have some cooked chicken on hand. And again, that's going in the fridge until I need it. You've seen me use these Joseph lavash wraps before. Usually I make my wraps with flat out, and those are 2 points each, but this Joseph lavash is only going to be 1 point for the half that you use for each of your wraps. So these wraps are going to end up being 3-point wraps, worst case scenario, depending on how you count the turkey. So I do these assembly style. I was showing you that I just put down all 3 paper towels, and then the paper towel gets wrapped up with the wrap. So I have 1 point worth of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, 1 or 0 points worth of turkey. That's no more than 2 ounces right there, depending on the turkey you use. I'm just going to go worst case scenario and say that's 1 point of turkey, and then I just wrap it up. So of course the spinach is 0. So you've got 1 point in the wrap itself, 1 point worst case scenario in the turkey, 1 point in the barbecue sauce. And hey, I could have used some kind of a mustard that had 0 smart points. That's just what I chose because I was just kind of feeling the barbecue sauce. So I wrap that up in the paper towel first, and then do the same thing with a piece of foil, and then go on to the next wrap. So I go ahead and I pull off my paper towels and my pieces of foil first so I can make a really good assembly line. To have another option for breakfast and possibly lunch or dinner, depending on my schedule, I'm making a version of that crustless quiche you've seen before. So I've got a 1/4 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, I have 4 ounces of ham, and I have a couple of tablespoons of those sun-dried tomatoes. And I think I just put a couple of tablespoons of half and half in there. This is going to come out to 1 point per serving, and it's just made in a pie plate that is going to give me 8 servings. If I want 2 of the slices worth, which is a 1/4 of what's going to be in the pie plate, that's going to be 2 smart points. So another word about that ham is that that is a maple ham. That's the Prima Della brand from Walmart that is just awesome in this particular crustless quiche or frittata or whatever you want to call it. This goes into a 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes. And there's the completed product, and that concludes this meal prep. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a thing, and I'll see you again at amycommonsenssouthern.com.